Hello and welcome to History Bite number 112, dated November 22nd, 2020. I'm Walter, your mobile historian and blue-collar scholar. This History Bite is entitled, Sitting in the Chief Judge's Chair. In November 2008, I was invited to the Annapolis chambers of Chief Judge Robert M. Bell of the Court of Appeals of Maryland. This was the second of such meetings with the Chief Judge at the time. The first meeting with the Chief Judge was in 2004 at his chambers at the Circuit Court for Baltimore City. During his time on the Court of Appeals, he was the Circuit Judge for Baltimore City. In any case, the whole purpose of that meeting was so that Chief Judge Bell could provide some more information to me regarding the Court of Appeals of Maryland. I was writing a research paper on the history of the Maryland judiciary and its evolution from 1776 to the present day. The class was Maryland Legal History, and the professor was Dr. Jeffrey Sawyer. The course was absolutely awesome, and Dr. Sawyer was an awesome professor as well. All right. So, in any case, when I got there, Chief Judge Bell most certainly did provide for me a great deal of additional information about the Court of Appeals, the type of information that, you would only get from an individual themselves. You wouldn't get that type of information from a book or a newspaper of any kind, all right? He gave me lots of procedural and, otherwise esoteric type of data about the court itself, and as well as the judges too. So with that in mind, after our audience was concluded, I asked him very boldly, if you ask me, very boldly asked him if I could see the courtroom, and he let me see the courtroom. And once I was there, I figured I had to go one more step. And so I asked him, could I sit on the bench? And he said, sure, be my guest. And needless to say, I was able to sit on the bench of the Court of Appeals of Maryland, all right, our state's highest court. And I sat in his chair, okay? There's a picture of me doing so on Facebook, all right? And once I sat in that chair, I must tell you, it felt like, although I have obviously no literal knowledge of what it would feel like, but it literally, at that moment, it felt to me like heaven on earth, okay? This was my dream aspiration at the time, to be appointed Chief Judge of the Court of Appeals of Maryland. And sitting in Chief Judge Bell's chair, oh my gosh, just seemed like the pre-fulfillment, of that ambition, okay? Ultimately, my ambitions changed down the road, of course, to want to go into academia, teaching. But still, sitting in Chief Judge Bell's chair was such a wonderful experience, so humbling indeed, that I felt that I had to share it with you, okay? And this was, again, back in November of 2008. All right. I was 23 at the time, and we had just recently elected President Obama to his first term in office. All right. So that about sums that up. I still have that paper as well from the Maryland Legal History course back at the University of Baltimore that I was working on. All right. I got an A. Like I said, Dr. Sawyer was an awesome instructor, and the class was great as well. So if you have any questions or controversies, you can leave them down in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. In sitting in Chief Judge Bell's chair, one could rightly argue, folks, that I have sat in a seat that most will never sit in. I'm grateful for the opportunity. Thank you, Chief Judge Bell. It was awesome. And also, my compliments to you, sir, on your choice of bow ties. You have excellent taste in bow ties. All right. So again, any questions or controversies, you can leave them down below, and I'll be happy to answer them. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would graciously appreciate it if you did so. Just hit that little red subscribe button and we're in business. Take care, stay safe out there, and I'll talk to you at the next one. Peace.